Hello and welcome back to episode 4 of Listen to May. This is just a foreword for the episode. I had to split it into 2 parts because we recorded in 2 separate formats on 2 separate days and they don't edit together well. So make sure to stay tuned for the next episode. It is just part 2 of this amazing episode with Luke Sullivan. So enjoy. Hi, Luke.
Hi, Mary Claire. Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you could come on. And also, sorry about the sound equipment.
There's no need to apologize. So we've been trying a new setup because I have a
He's an actual mic.
I have an actual. She's been looking into them to make sure that the listeners are treated.
I'm gonna get a blue Yeti. Yeah,
she's gonna get a blue Yeti. This is an advertisement. She's paid.
Yeah, very paid, definitely.
And it's not working that well.
No, the mic works. We're just trying to figure out how we can actually hear the sound. We were doing a test and we couldn't hear anything, so I'll figure that out tonight.
It's totally all right. It's a natural portion.
So if the audio quality is different for parts of this, it absolutely is because one of them is on my phone. One of them's
on a phone. The other one's on a $150. How much did it cost on Amazon?
Depends on the color, but the lowest is $99. So that's what I'll be doing.
Oh, okay. Do you plan on getting? Do you plan on getting an interesting color, or do you?
Probably black or silver.
Black or silver. I find this boring.
I kind of like the black one. It looks sleek.
The black one is much sleeker, and because you can see a little stain right here.
Yeah, no, it doesn't show as much. Oh my gosh, has it been on mute?
No, that means it's on.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow.
Yeah. So if you press, you can actually mute it because I used to use this on Zoom calls and
Yeah, that's smart.
Boom.
Nice.
Boom.
Wow.
That's too expensive for me to be karate chopping in the way that I'm doing it.
Yeah, he's been karate chopping it. Anyway, I usually do a cold open, but I don't know if we need to do that because I don't even have theme music.
What is a cold open? What is it? What is that?
Have you ever seen The Office?
I mean what?
I mean for me, I don't know. Last time I asked Melanie if she believed in Greek gods. Do you want to do one right now?
Sure.
I have some questions for you.
Okay.
Let's see.
Great.
Okay. Start a note, but I'm really hoping you didn't look at all of it.
I didn't look at all of it. I'm going to see, but whatever it is, make sure it surprises me.
Did you have braces? That's not that fun, but...
So I
I've been wondering.
So I was supposed to get I got a palatal expander when I was a freshman.
Cool.
And then I kept breaking it because I didn't, not on purpose. Maybe on a Freudian level of on purpose. But I put one in because I was supposed to, because I have an underbite. And thankfully, now I've just grown a beard, so it's not visible. And now I have a jaw structure that if I change, it's probably going to mess with the way I sing. But cool. I kept getting them, and then they kept breaking in my mouth. And
how does that happen?
I think I was messing with it too much, to be honest.
That sounds about right.
I did not I wanted to be out, wanted to be free.
As a 7th grader, 8th grader with braces, I accidentally swallowed part of my braces once. Yeah, I had some issues, and I had this little plastic protector over part of my braces, and it came undone. The wire just came off the tooth area, and I was eating a donut one day, and I'm pretty sure I swallowed a piece of plastic.
What did you
highlight of middle school?
What were you trying to fix?
Just regular braces.
Yeah.
I had this weird surgery when I was in 7th grade where I my canine just wasn't coming down, so they had to pull out the baby tooth. I was just toothless for most of middle school, and then they had to attach literally a gold chain, I don't know why gold, but a gold chain to my tooth to bring it down, so I was toothless.
You just looked like the Monopoly man for a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
That's very interesting, because braces in middle school, that's just a standard level of, that's really only way people can really grow in humility, is by having some thing in middle school that they messed with them and then they get out of it.
I love the people just passing by. We're recording this at school, and there's a window right outside our, through the room.
Can I?
Definitely. Wait. No, yeah. Twist that. The other way. Away from you.
Away from
you.
Apart from me.
Okay, that's a lot better. Now people can't see us.
Well, because if a teacher comes in and we're we have a podcast set up, it's not going to be an issue, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Should I do any kind of introduction? Do you want to be introduced?
Sure. I'd be happy to be introduced.
Luke Sullivan, you are guest number 4, I think. Yeah. Luke's a senior at my school.
I
think I've said the name O'Connell before. Yeah, O'Connell.
Okay, so we're allowed to say that?
Yeah.
I've known Mary Claire for about, I want to say, so I've been here, I guess I've known you for
2.5, whatever.
Because you were a freshman when I was a sophomore, and you were in Guys and Dolls, so I knew of you.
Guys and Dolls.
And then the only real way I knew Mary Claire was through like word of mouth and people being like, this girl's a gem, and then everyone I knew said that. And then I started taking lessons with a vocal coach.
I don't know if we should say his name. That's another thing where I'm like, do we? I think we can go for it.
I think he would like the attention of it.
Let's go, Todd.
Let's go.
I actually had him first as a teacher.
You did have him first.
I did. And then he was like, I have this random person from O'Connell coming. Do you know Luke Sullivan? At the time, I didn't really know you because we've both been in choir, but
because we were in the same cohort for...
hybrid last year.
Yes, so the school went hybrid, so it was A to K maybe, and then the rest through Z, and so it was blue and silver, and Mary Claire and I were in the same chamber, and the chamber had
chamber choir.
Yeah, chamber choir, and it had 6 people, and maybe 4 people would show up on any given day. Always Mary Claire.
Yes.
So...
chamber choir is great. I think we've also mentioned Mrs. Starr, so I think all names are just up for... Yeah.
Well, because I'm sure she wouldn't mind a shout out.
She has her own podcast. We shouted her out last time. We were listen to Conductor Pod. Yeah.
Waiting on my invite, Mrs. Starr. If you're listening to this, I'm happy to come on and talk choral music.
Yeah, him too. Because I'm a her, and I do music. I don't conduct, but
I guess that would
works.
Conduct her pod is about women in choral music, and I sing high enough that maybe I qualify.
Yeah.
No, maybe I shouldn't say
okay,
that.
It always scares me when we're doing warm-ups, though, because Luke's over here in the same, wait, I'm so sorry, that is your mask.
It's okay. There's plenty of masks in the sea.
Wow, okay. I thought that was my mask.
It's okay.
What was I saying? Oh, yeah, we're doing warm-ups, and I look over, and he's in the same octave, and I'm like, am I high enough? Yeah, because he's a tenor, I'm a soprano. I guess, I don't know how male voices work.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
How high we get?
Yeah.
Or, so I have an irregularly high voice, which is kind
helpful.
It is helpful when I'm singing high things, but so when we're doing warm-ups, I can usually go an octave higher, and I do it just for fun. I do it for the love of the game. And Pablo has adopted it, and then Pablo's also done it. And
Pablo asked to sit in.
Pablo did ask to sit in.
Pablo, you will be on a future episode, I promise.
Pablo Revela's a very good friend of ours. We've all went to Panera together.
That was a great experience.
That was a good night. It was just Pablo and I talked. We were
me.
I'm segueing into what we were doing. No, I know that you were there.
Yeah.
But it's Pablo and I giving terrible life advice to you. And it was you should not have listened to anything that we were saying.
I don't know if I remember any of it.
So it was, I won't repeat any of the advice that was given. It wasn't anything grotesque. It was just wow, these two dudes have not in any way, shape, or form known really what human interaction is to give solid advice on any conflict.
Sometimes your advice is really good, though. I don't know. I feel like sometimes you're randomly hey, life advice just on a plate.
Life advice on a plate is
segment idea.
Segment advice. I would be happy to.
Life advice on a plate.
Life advice on a plate. That's a really good one. You can.
I'll be asking you that tomorrow. Get ready.
I think a good segment idea is to have anonymous callers come in in the same way radio stations.
Actually,
would be.
That's possible. It's if you have to go through Anchor, but I'll put a link in this podcast description, but it's called a voice memo. But yeah, you can do that.
So it's 45-year-old men with marital problems. We're here to solve it. That's what I
was
want.
thinking more people we know, but that could work too.
Oh, I would assume it was random people because the podcast is going to take off. I'm speaking it.
It is.
I'm saying it right now.
Yeah,
it's
you
happen.
need to get people to listen because my biggest episode is 20 plays, I was saying, and that's great, but also it'd be cool if.
What episode was it?
It's my first one.
First one?
Yeah.
Was it a solo one or was it with your sister?
It was with both sisters.
Both sisters?
Except Caroline kind of dipped out.
Caroline
dipped out. She was like, I'm tired, I'm leaving. And I was like, you, what? Okay.
Did she leave through the episode or was she not there? How many sisters do you have? Refresh me.
I have 2 sisters. There's Caroline, she's 25. She didn't want that revealed, but she's 25.
Okay.
And Caitlin is 22. And yeah, they actually neither is living here anymore. So.
Because are they in college? One's in college, right?
One is in college. One just started PA school.
PA school? That is that profession is incredibly on the rise.
Yeah. And then the other, Caitlin's gonna be a doctor. So I'm like, wow, I feel useless because they're both medical, and I'm like, I want to bake for a living.
You want to bake for a living?
I don't want to own a bakery or anything. I don't want to do that kind of baking, but I want to do more I want to work in food publishing, Food Network, not food styling, setting up photo shoots. That's not marketing, and they have the Food Network magazine and Delish and all those things. I don't know exactly what, but I want to do something with that. That just fascinates me. In business, I want to.
It's crazy how many people in the Madrigals are incredibly good at baking. Madrigals is a student-run choir that Carson Barnes and I started a few months ago just because we got bored of normal choir.
Madrigals has been very fun, I will say. It's been one of the highlights of my year, just saying.
It's insane the way it's put together.
I feel like we haven't done much, but we have.
Well, we're trying.
I don't mean we haven't done much.
That's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. But we had the Christmas season, and that was
hectic.
Hectic.
I got bronchitis and missed 5 of the 7 performances. So that was fun. It was bronchitis. It was not COVID because I got COVID last week. I'm fine.
You did not luck out.
No.
In an immuno way.
No.
That was not your month.
No, it was not. That was probably not a good month.
That was not a good month. It was definitely not in your top 5 months.
No.
Because I was like, we
should probably turn this mic off.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Because we can just. That's fine. It can. Because
cool.
it's the. If anything, it'll drain your computer, so I'll take it out.
Yeah, I kind of need battery.
You do need battery for your next few classes.
Yeah. What were you saying? Madrigals. Sorry.
Madrigals is an 8-part choir, and Mary Claire's our soprano 1, and there's that's been you're the one part that isn't switched around because everyone's like. Mary Claire's not here to sing the high notes. Nobody's going to be able to. Nobody's going to have the gall, the wherewithal. So it's a blessing.
Thank you.
And
I've really enjoyed Madrigals, yeah.
Thank you. Well, we're working on Star Spangled Banner, and a lot of it is the Madrigals operate as a mercenary choir. Yeah,
basically we do what we're told because we need opportunities to perform. Except I will not be doing that thing after the Orlando trip. I'm sorry. I'm not getting up at 5 a.m. that day. Our music trip this year is to Orlando. We get back on a Sunday night at 11. Looking forward to it. But then Luke was like, guess what? We have a performance opportunity the next day at 6:15.
Well, because Miss Prince gave us a very generous opportunity to sing at the National American Postal Service, and then Matthew Brown was like, that's my favorite national organization. I'm like, oh, you're just being enthusiastic. Nope.
Wait, really?
Yeah, no, he wasn't kidding. It's his favorite.
I love that. I love that.
And what was I gonna say?
That I'm not doing that?
That you're not doing that.
I'm not getting up that early. I'm sorry.
For the Orlando trip, for charisma points for Mary Claire's character, my mom organizes the rooms, and she had an issue because maybe 8 people requested you.
Really?
Yeah.
Aww,
you didn't know that?
Thanks, guys. No, I thought no one was gonna request me.
No, you were on. You were the common thread, and so there's a custody battle that had to be done.
I actually did not know this.
You didn't know this?
No.
Well, now you know, firsthand experience.
Thanks for stroking my ego.
Anytime. Well, because I don't get this whole no compliment stroke the ego thing.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, no, if this is the thing that descends you into narcissism, so be it. Is there someone staring?
No, we're good. We're in a seminar room, and we had to get a teacher to open this for us, and I'm so terrified that someone's just gonna walk in and be like, "What are you doing in here?"
I thought there was a person who was watching, and then I saw that it was just the Jesus statue, which is theologically true, but in the pragmatic sense.
No one is there.
That we can see. I'm trying to get into.
Do you think someone's just hiding in that filing cabinet?
Nomine Patri Filii Spiritus Sancti.
What language did you take?
I took Latin for 3 years.
Nice.
And it didn't do anything.
I will say, I feel like that is one of the most useless languages.
Well, because
no offense.
Well, because I used to think this is a really interesting thing. I thought Latin America.
No. No, Luke. No. No.
I thought it was just where the Romans went.
I don't think I'm gonna recover from that.
I guess I'm the bad guy.
No, that is so funny. I think we just found our episode's quote.
I just don't even specify that. We can get that on there. That's a soundbite?
That is. I don't know how to put sound bites into like videos for Instagram, but I want to make it happen.
I don't know how it works either.
I did while I was quarantining, I tried to do like podcast research to figure out how recording worked, and I feel a little bit more lost than before, but I do know what mic I want to get, so that's good.
What if you did a I was imagining like you quarantining by yourself and then doing a podcast with you, and then I was like, I just think that's actually what that's a sign of cognitive decline. So it would be alarming. If
Just me talking to myself.
Yeah.
Do you ever talk to yourself?
I don't know. I don't really know. I definitely think a lot. I think to myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say things out. I'll say thoughts out loud, and I'm like, darn it, or I'll get in the car and I'll be like, ugh, or you know.
No, I do that. I recently I was like, you know, if no one's around to know, I'm gonna talk to myself. That sounds weird. I don't go on full like monologues.
It's the
but
first
sometimes...
stage. It's just the first stage.
I
of
swear, I'm not
like
actually like, come on, Mary Claire, you gotta do this. But like sometimes I say lists out loud to remember them.
Yeah, that's totally normal.
I've cursed a few times to myself.
Yeah, well, I remember the.
Back to Magicals.
Sorry.
Actually, yeah, Magicals has been great. We it's been pretty hectic, but like enjoyable. I'm along for the ride.
We have our 8th member, Sydney Smith.
Yeah.
I'm allowed to say that. I think.
It's fine. Oh, I said like any Magical is fair game because like we're gonna talk about them a lot. Like
it's a public order.
Melanie was the last guest. Paul was another guest. It's happening.
Yeah, there's going to be an episode of Melanie, Greg, and I on.
That's next.
That is coming up next. I don't know when it's being recorded, but that should be interesting.
In the next 2 weeks, probably.
She and I have beef.
You beef, yeah.
We beef hard. We hate each other. I want to open a declaration of war on the. I want to start it.
Did you listen to the last episode?
I listened to.
I think you need to listen the full way through.
I told her, I was on the phone with her, and I was like, I listened to first 30 seconds, then I heard you talk, boom, had to turn it off.
No, literally, you need to listen to the full thing. What? You're on this podcast, dude. You need to listen, but also...
Am I brought up?
Yeah.
I know a certain social media account of mine was brought up.
Actually, I don't think that was.
She said my Twitter was brought up.
We'll save that for next time. I was going to say... What was I going to say? I'm rolling around in a chair. Cool. I wanted to talk about how we became friends because Magicals.
That is okay. Let's segue into that.
Cool.
What I kind of what story? What story really?
I don't think there is like one story. Basically, until this year, I thought you did not like me. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, you're great. I always like thought you seemed super nice and polite and everything, but I just like. I felt like there was a big divide between, like, years.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, anyone who was older than me last year, I was like, I can't talk to you. You're scary. So, like,
well,
it wasn't you in particular.
Well, also, I kind of do have a relatively off-putting...
No, you don't.
Well, now I don't. Back then I did. Because I wasn't as talkative as I am now. I was more, like...
I mean, also, I was shyer, too. I think I've, like, become at least a little less shy this year, so... That helps.
Well, what I can identify is like one time we're friends now. What I can identify is like just the Madrigals just like okay suddenly we're all going to Panera together. You know.
I feel like that was kind of like the moment I was like cool we're friends but like yeah. I'm
very grateful for our friendship.
I'm very grateful for it too.
It's
definitely fun.
There's a bond.
No one's coming in. I thought someone was coming in the room.
Nobody's coming in?
Yeah. It's locked, I think, so.
Well, because we'll text during a math class that both of us don't understand.
Oh, yeah, no. I understand nothing in that class. I've had to Khan Academy everything.
I do everything in that class but learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to make a plan to play Sea Battle again? Because...
I would love to.
Might...
Well, because I like the quality time of Sea Battle.
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think for me, it was like, I was like, oh, we're friends too, because once is like, okay, I don't have a car or a license, and Luke does, and so
shouldn't, but I do.
Rides with him are a little interesting, but like, hey, you have a car, and I was like, hey, I have a chauffeur now, basically.
That is true. I've been told by multiple. I've been asked by multiple people. Oh, so you're chauffeur at Mary Claire? I say.
Absolutely.
Mary Claire says jump. I say how high.
I really want to name your car.
You have every
your
right
car
to.
has a personality, and it needs to be named.
I think I can tell this story in the podcast. The one about. Have I ever told you about the time I got pulled over?
No.
So I was on the way home from a diner with my friends at 11:55 p.m. at night.
As Luke does.
As I do, and I'm not sure if this will detract or deteriorate from any. NYU, I am a wonderful student. I have a wonderful.
I don't know if NYU will be listening to this quite yet. One day they will, but once you get in, then you can tell them.
I hope so. So I was driving, and then a cop is coming from behind me, and I misread one of the speed limit signs, and then the reason why he let me off instead of giving me a ticket.
Did you sing to him?
I didn't sing to him. I did
Darn
something
it.
arguably
Oh,
much
no.
more embarrassing.
Luke, what did he do?
He pulls up to the window. I put my hands above my head.
I'm finding out so much about you.
And I couldn't think of anything. And like he was very clearly like, you know what, just go home. This like this kid
When was
is not.
this?
This was like 3 weeks ago.
Dude, what?
Yeah.
You did not tell me.
I was saving it for the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I have been like saving things. I can't remember them now, but like
Sounds very indicative of what the podcast experience.
people ask what this podcast is about, and I'm like, I don't know, you should listen and find out.
I feel like
I sincerely don't have a specific thing.
I feel like there are because we have this is gonna be divided into two halves. So this ends at we're gonna end this one in
like
5
4
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
A break to sponsors, and then
I wish.
do you have sponsorship deals yet?
I have like 8 listeners left until I am able to do ads. So yeah.
That's
I think we
8.
can get it.
How many questions did we get? We got 10.
We got 10.
So let's go through some of
2
those.
of them are from Melanie. I think we should save this for tomorrow because we have 4 minutes.
That's totally fine.
We can do like 1.
Let's do.
Okay.
I am incredibly.
You're curious?
I'm annoyed in advance at whatever Melanie's question was.
Here. Well, Pablo said, can I be on at the same time? I'm so sorry, Pablo. I was not trying to exclude you from the pod recording. I just, I have planned guests already, and you're, in my mental plan for it, but, this had been planned, a month ago.
I don't make any plans that don't include Pablo Revelo.
Pablo, I promise you will be on soon. I don't know which to choose, because these are from your friends, so,
Okay.
You will do it tomorrow. I think my first question is going to be, what is up with Luke and scooters?
What is up
and
with
I
Luke
want you to guess who asked that.
Did Melanie ask that?
Melanie did ask that. Because of this photo. If you have seen the Instagram story, it is Luke on a scooter. What is up with you and scooters?
So I've always had I've had a big fascination with electric scooters.
You have?
And
I've never been on one. That is on my, I have a mini bucket list of, random things I haven't done. Like Dave & Buster's. We need to do that. Yeah. One of them is going on an electric scooter.
So I was selected for the American Choral Directors Association's Senior Honor Choir, name drop. And Carson Barnes, John Twasson, a really good friend of mine, both really good friends of mine, we were sent to Alabama. And there's another student.
You were sent to Alabama.
We were sent to Alabama to sing. And what it was is there's a lot of free time to kind of do whatever. And this was actually at the beginning.
Wait, I kind of remember this.
This was from March 9th to March 13th.
Of
2020.
Literally before the world shut down. The world shut down on my birthday. It was super fun.
Your birthday's on March 13th?
14th, yeah.
14th? Oh, that's the worst. Yeah, but that's good to know. I'll calendar that. Thank you for telling me in advance. So what it was is, so we had like a lot of free time to just kind of roam around Alabama, and then we found these electric scooters, and then we found it on John Twasson's, because John Twasson was the only one with a license at the time. So what we did was we just kind of rode around on them, and I was like, this is liberating, because we went to this.
Before you had a car, you had a scooter.
That was all I knew, and there was this parking garage.
All you know are scooters.
And then John, Carson, and I raced around the parking garage, and we got to see how fast it could go. We got to 15 miles per hour.
Nice. Okay, they do seem fun though.
They're amazing.
If we are ever in DC for some reason, we need to find those scooters.
I'm sure there'll be magical thing in DC.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I feel like as soon as it gets warmer, we're just gonna be like every weekend, magicals coming, no matter what.
I like to think so. I like to think that there'll be more performance opportunities.
Oh, I'm not talking about performances. I'm talking about like Dave and Buster type things.
Because the magicals, I can't think of. I guess we all went to ice skating. Not all of us. Carson wasn't there.
A few of us.
A few of us.
Anyone who could.
Yeah, and I didn't get tickets in time, which is interesting. And I was the one who said everyone get tickets. Do as I say, not as I do.
I was the first. Yeah, Melanie and I were like the only ones who did. Does this mean we're the most responsible? Probably.
Statistically, it's not an anomaly. Right? it's in the wheelhouse of opportunity. But I've had an obsession with them ever since that, and every time I am, because I was in Norfolk for VMEA's senior honor choir. I don't know how I keep getting into these. I am the most musical theater singer of all time. And I just rode around Norfolk with it, and it was not really advised by the Virginia Music Educators Association, so if they're listening to this, I am sorry, but it was probably within the rules.
I am flattered that you think so many people are listening. I think they can eventually, but I would like for it to reach that level.
If I say it, it could happen.
It could.
It could.
Karma. That's not karma.
There's some
manifesting it.
Yeah, manifesting. That's
sure. I think that's what it means.
One word to describe it.
Yeah. I think you should add this to your college apps. I know it's a little late, but like if you're interviewed or anything, you can like list this as performance experience.
I could. All of my applications are entirely in. Thankfully.
Okay, well, you should apply to Lake Marymount.
I got into Marymount without
did?
applying.
That is the bell. We should probably pause for today.
We can pause, but that's my obsession with electric scooters. I find them liberating, and I find them to be the epitome of freedom.
Okay, well, we'll be back tomorrow with better recording equipment.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
From our lips to God's ears.
See ya.